Oh, and we're live.
It.
Hello. Hello to all you Go Gritters. It's Jennifer and I, and we have a special guest this week, Melissa Jakes
Hi.
of of Rescue Event. Am I totally drawing a blank? I'm sorry. Planning. Okay, that's too obvious. Yeah, Rescue Event Planning. And just as a let you all know, I'm going to be working with Melissa because I'm going to be doing an event for Work Smarter Digital later this year about how to use digital tools in your business. So she's going to be working with me on that. And we thought she'd be a great guest because we love virtual events.
Yes, we do. And why are you working with Melissa? Because we do our own virtual event and we know how hard and time consuming it is.
Exactly.
Life, and it is a rough life, but we love it. We love what we get out of it. We love the energy and creativity. We love it for so many reasons. It's expanded our network. We truly have helped other small business owners connect with future clients, strategic partners, collaborators. There's so much great energy that can come out of these virtual events. But let's be honest, Melissa, we've all been to some bad virtual events.
We have. And you guys know that, and it's okay because some people have to start somewhere, right?
You get that time back. It's not okay, Melissa.
Make people feel better if they were the person. But yeah, it's especially now you have to show up, right? The first impression is to someone, especially if you're getting someone new in your email list or attend your event, your first impression is going to be that event. So you have to make sure it's on point because that just kind of opens up the world to, do we want to work with you or refer you, and how all the stuff that you reach new people. So making sure you have that good, strong first impression with that.
Yes. And is that why you named your business Rescue Event Planning?
So I really named it Rescue because I love acronyms, right? And so Rescue was an acronym. It was reassuring excellent services through critically unique eyes. And that was my I call it my immature entrepreneur side when I first started off. Like, oh, I love this acronym. Everyone else would like this acronym. But then your target audience tells you what they want, right? So all my clients were like, you know what? You did rescue me from your event. It kind of took off. I'm like, no one even paid attention to this acronym at all.
Nobody can remember. I've already forgotten that acronym. It was so good when you said it, but I could not repeat it back.
Right. So I stuck with Rescue and just said, okay, the acronym is for my heart. I know what it means, but people love to say, like, you know what? You did rescue me for my event.
And that acronym does have power in the sense that it keeps you, it's the passion behind what you do, right? It's your why. So it's there, even if people can't repeat it back to you quickly. It's a driving force for your mission. So to say, because life is too short for bad events. Life is too short for a bad virtual event.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that Mary Sue and I want to talk about is, because this is always a question we ask ourselves, is what do our attendees want out of the event? Like, what makes them buy a ticket? And then once they have the ticket, what makes them leave the event satisfied?
Loving it.
Yeah, loving it, talking about it, satisfied with the experience, thinking that their money and their time was well spent. So if you had to list the top 3 things, I want to hear them if you're willing to divulge.
Yeah. So the first thing is definitely the title. Like most people will scroll through or see what's going on, and they're like, "Oh, I like that title." So, for instance, if we say, making power moves in the night. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm a night owl. I know in my business I have to be up at night. Maybe I'm transitioning from working a 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship. So that will reign with them, right?
Yeah.
So having a good, strong, powerful title to grab them. Second,
I am terrible at titles, just so you know.
That's why you got me. We're going to work on a title. So the second thing would be your content. giving a lot of value because we are virtual. It's not saying that, oh, we're going to feed you and you have this experience and that experience in person. You get a swag bag, all that stuff, which you can still do virtually. But you have to make sure the content is there. And because we're competing with so many events now, you have to make sure that is there. And so having strong content and having that one keynote speaker, if your content can't be as strong, for example, I was talking to someone about it's just doing something in Women's Month for March about women in business and talking about going through the MBE process. How about trademarks? When do you need a lawyer? All of those type of different things, making sure like that is some good, strong content. Someone will walk away saying, I'm prepared in my business. I have a plan of here's my MBE. I know what to do. Here, I need to get this trademark. I know what to do. I have a lawyer I need to reach out to. I know what to do. So you give a lot of good content, then it draws people in that, ooh, I'm going to walk away tangible with something. Yes, Amy, titles, girl. You have to have a good title.
She's right there with you. The titles, I mean, that's the cover of your book, right? That's like people judge a book by its cover. They're going to judge your event by its title.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, so there's the content, but even unpacking that a little bit more. So Mary Sue and I have approached our events, rightly or wrongly, with the idea that people want to...
We think it's right.
We think it's right. We think it's right. I'm opening the door for you to argue with us because, everyone likes to listen. We've approached it with the idea that more than knowledge, people want connections. They want to expand their network. They want to meet strategic partners, potential referral partners, that sort of thing. That particularly now, when people can't be in the same room with each other, they need some real relationships. Mm-hmm. And so we have gone heavy in our programming with that. We do have some knowledge-based content, but again, we want it interactive. We don't want flat formatting. We want multidimensional formatting. We want people to walk away being like, I haven't been to an event like this before. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Tell me what you think about that. Are we on the right track with our event?
You are, because it has to be engaging, even though we're looking at a screen, right? Yeah. And so having those networking opportunities, whether you have it like the speed dating networking, Bill, or you have intentional networking. We put you in these rooms because this is who you should be talking to. Mm-hmm. And really strategizing with that and having kind of like those hot seats. If you guys were even to do like a hot seat,
we like that.
Someone in.
Oh yeah,
that would be amazing.
There are so many formats that people I'm not seeing necessarily in a lot of events. A lot of it is the speaker with the slides, maybe a Q&A, and mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But like you just mentioned, the hot seat. I mean, that's a format we've used. I love it. I think it's so much fun. I'm trying to think of what are some other
trouble with the one that's the debate style.
I don't
know if it's like a woman thing, but it makes me uncomfortable.
I love debating. I love it. I'm like, I love it. I love a good, healthy, fun discussion.
Well, I can always see both sides, so I'm not the best to be a debater with.
Mary still disagree with whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So I love that. So just getting to thinking about infusing your event with creativity. Not a cookie cutter event, right?
Right, because I don't like cookie cutter. I like things unique, right? And so there's even ways where you can bring food to the event. You can try to get sponsorships, or in your ticket price, you include that it comes with meals, and you give them a promo code, their Uber Eats or DoorDash, and we're going to have a working lunch together.
Ooh, we haven't done that, but I bet Mary's going to do that for hers. Yeah, that is a great idea. That's so you basically get the money within the ticket, so that you can then distribute that towards the expense of an Uber Eats voucher, whatever.
On the sponsorship side, we could try to talk to Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub and say, listen, we have data for you. We have X amount of women. This is the type of businesses they own, and try to see if we can get a little discount on the sponsorship side for that. Either reduce on the voucher that you purchase, or maybe they're going to do a giveaway. That, hey, we can give away some things for a raffle when people come in.
Now when you said we, yeah, you said we're going to talk to Uber Eats. Like, is that part of what your service is? You're talking that, is that part of your packages?
Yes. So we do have teammates that will help with sponsorships. Of course, sponsors like to talk to who's in charge of the event, but we're definitely there to help and assist how we're going to get this sponsorship done in some type of way. And it does take some fostering a relationship, because we all know it's who you know, right?
Yes. That is so true. That is so true.
I have a question.
I have so many.
What are, because we talked about what 3 things really you have to have in your event. What are 3 to 5 don'ts or total foibles that you've seen?
The crash and burns of which virtual events?
The biggest one is not doing a test run with your speakers, especially if they've never used a platform before.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that they don't come on and say, "Can you hear me? Can you see my slides?" No, I can't stand the awkwardness of, "Are we doing a test run live?" No. So make sure you do run-throughs. That is an automatic in my packages. And if they can't make it, we record the run-throughs. And then I even say, please, 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 if you still feel uncomfortable, I will do a one-to-one with the speaker or the panelists just to make them feel comfortable.
That is great advice. We have done run-throughs for our events, and it helps so much, because as Mary Sue and I acting as co-hosts, there's multiple things sort of going on in the background, like slide sharing, chat in the comment chat, so many things. And so just knowing that we had the tech down and we knew how to navigate the online platform was so helpful.
Yes, well, and actually Jennifer is the expert at Zoom now. Because
I feel like
that was partially why when I'm doing my own, I'm like, well, I need a partner in crime, because Jennifer really managed the Zoom.
I tried.
Not that I couldn't figure it out, but you got to know what your limitations are.
Right. And that brings up the second thing. The second thing is having a team, because imagine if you had 100 people in your event and you need to check in with the speakers. Are they good? Especially if things running simultaneously. You're not going to be able to be in all these different rooms. So having a team in the background to help you navigate and to do the troubleshooting, looking at the email for those who couldn't get in for some reason. Have those folks.
That's so important, because I don't care how well you communicate with your audience, how many times you've sent that link, and how many formats. There will be at least one person who will not be able to get into your event. It's a rule. I don't know. It's just a given. So that team, like playing backup and troubleshooters. Yeah. So important.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not interrupting you, because you were going strong. Keep going.
What's another thing I've seen? Some fun things have definitely include music. Having a DJ in the waiting room and pumping people up to get excited.
Waiting room.
Yes.
We've done that.
You can feed messages and music into a waiting room for Zoom. You can do that. Or you can create a breakout room and put them all into that and have that as your waiting room if you want to, or whatnot. So if you're using Zoom, I don't recommend Zoom all the time for events, depending on your event, because it's not an event platform. But, people have to start somewhere. So if that is something you do, you could definitely do something like that.
Yeah, we've definitely been using Zoom. So tell me what are your favorite event platforms then?
Yeah.
So my ultimate favorite, even though it's not considered an event platform, but I've utilized it for an event, is StreamYard. I love StreamYard because you're able to just, do so many different things with it. My second one would be Hopin. I do love the option of the speed networking and being able to have your vendors have booths and they are able to be live. And so that's another thing you can sell for your events. Like the vendor experience could be amazing to make them feel like the money that they put in, they're definitely back out, right? And even offering them a commercial. If you're techie, if you have someone on your team that's techie, and say like, hey, we can even produce a commercial for you. We just need your content. And that's something that they can use forever, right? And so definitely making them feel like the value is there. There's a couple of new ones. Wonder is free right now, and Live Reach is free. So definitely take advantage of
the other one, Live Reach.
Yeah, or Reach Live. I think it's Reach Live.
Live. Yeah, I've seen that one, but I've seen Wonder, which is interesting, and I think it's I have to play around with it a little bit more, but I think for some events, particularly networking, I think that's a really great platform.
Exactly. The other thing I failed to mention is that StreamYard and Hopin, I listened to the town hall last night with the founders, and they are now working on the integration where you can stream directly from StreamYard into Hopin. You can do it now. You have to do some back-end techie stuff, but they will soon have the integration where you can just press the button where your destination will be. So that is going to be a game changer for event producers. And for people who are experiencing events, it's going to look amazing. I know that will.
Yeah, I knew that was good news, but it was either Hopin that bought StreamYard or StreamYard bought Hopin. I forget.
So what they said last night is that no one bought anyone. Is that they're joining forces together.
Okay.
Somebody.
It's a smart partnership. Anyway, likes it. I love that. Let's talk a little bit about. Well, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One is, you've got people on a screen, right? So that's not the same as having them in person. Can you tell me what are your best practices in terms of length of engagement? Like we have our long form events span several days, but we try not to make the programming any more than 3 hours during any particular day, and even that is broken up. So tell me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely 3 hours is the max.
Yeah.
I've had some clients go to 4 accidentally because the engagement was there. So we were running over time because of either all the Q&As. And so for that, I'm like, okay, the engagement is there. And it happened to be on a weekend, so people were probably more like intent to, I'll be there. But I would say anywhere between 90 minutes to 2 hours. 3 hours, if you're doing like a nice long conference, that would be my max. If you're doing something over several days, I had a client who did a summit over 5 days, and the program was about 60 to 90 minutes each day.
Yeah, I think it's hard to expect people to be attached to a screen for extended period of times, no matter how good your program
and to be like really listening, because you could be zoning out.
Right. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So here's the other thing. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, Mary Sue, because I'm so happy. I want to pick her brain as much as possible.
We got a question from our.
Oh, okay. Okay. Forget me. Let's go to the audience. I can wait. I'm
pushback from people not wanting to learn a new platform. Do you find venturing out of Zoom is worth it for the change in scenery, even if you have a few people dragging their feet? That's a great question.
That's a very good question. So yes, it is worth it because the user experience is going to be amazing. So for those, and I've dealt with clients like that too. I had to really pull teeth. We're getting away from Zoom for this event. And so something like, again, if you're doing a one stage, you can do something like StreamYard and do an unlisted link if it's going to be a paid event. And the only thing the client has to do, or your guests will have to do, is just click the link to the YouTube unlisted link. There's nothing else they have to do. There's a chat box if they want to chat. If they don't want to chat, at least they can watch it on their TV, if they have a smart TV, their laptop, their phone. So it's very accessible. You don't have to download anything. Unlike Zoom, some people have the download version, or you're just clicking on the web. So I definitely think it's worth it. It's what to do for your speakers or your panelists is getting them feel comfortable. That is the thing. So if you do those speaker calls, more than one, to make people feel comfortable, doing test run-throughs, even to make them feel really at ease when it comes to game day in a sense, then that will definitely help them feel better on that.
Yeah, that was going to be my following question. How do you get people bought in on the, because it's usually not the people attending. I guess that could be part of it. It's the people planning it that are struggling.
Yeah, it's because it must be that they're not comfortable themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people have paid for my services to come in to say like, hey, a third person is in that in between person to say like, oh, okay, we have the comfortability of knowing there's someone who's going to be there in the background, say like, yes, we got you. Don't worry. We're still there on game day as well.
It makes so much sense because I've done in-person conferences and we always did tech run-throughs with our speakers. They would, we'd have set times outside of the programming where they would come to, check into the room, and somebody on the tech team would, make sure that their audio was working, that their slides were showing, that their mic was working, so that their presentation would be seamless. But also just because there was a nervous factor there when they weren't comfortable with, not knowing how everything was going to work. So, you do it in in-person events. It makes sense that it holds true, just as true for the virtual tech.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. The anonymous Facebook group user, thank you.
Well, Melissa, I don't know if we're going to head over to Clubhouse next. Jennifer's about.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask one more question. So, Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about who is your ideal client, and what is your unique value prop? Since you were so kind to come on and talk to us about this.
Yes, no problem. So, and I didn't get to do my little intro. I totally forgot. We got right into it, right? So, as you can see, my tagline, we'll go this way: the Olivia Pope of live events, now virtual. So, if those who are Scandal fans, I had a couple of clients didn't even know that they were talking to each other, say, you handled it. You're like Olivia Pope. And so I kind of ran with that tagline there. And so that's what my clients consider me. But yes, I work with entrepreneurs, small businesses, authors, coaches, really build their business through hosting events, because that's how we get great networking. That's how you get great exposure. That's how you're able to start meeting new people. And when you start building the value of yourself, because when you're hosting events, you start learning new things yourself. And so you become that knowability, trustability, likability factor, right? The TLC or the KTL.
Well, we will like and trust you for sure.
Thank you.
So as Mary Sue mentioned, we're going to transition this conversation over to Clubhouse. For those of you on Clubhouse, probably the easiest way for you to find it is to follow one or all of us, hopefully all of us. I'm at Jen, Jen Crawford. Melissa is at the Melissa Jakes. And Mary Sue is at Mary Sue Dayhill. So if you follow us on Clubhouse, you'll get alerted to the event. It'll show up in the hallway.
I'm at Work Smarter CRM, I think.
Are you? I thought I looked you, unless you changed it. Maybe you changed it.
Okay.
Anyway, find one or all of us. We will see you over there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hear you over there. We will hear you over there.
Right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.